Okay, the first thing that we're going to talk about is the position of adjectives. Okay, I want you to take a second and read the following sentences. You might want to pause the video while you read it. Okay, I'm going to read the sentences and then explain what they mean. Il y a une voiture canadienne. Okay, he has a Canadian car. Il est un garçon rouge. He is a red boy. C'est un chien gentil. It is a nice dog. Il y a un ordi gris sur le bureau. Okay, there is a gray computer on the desk. So look at the position of the adjectives in each of the sentences. So you have Canadien, rouge, gentil, and gris. Okay, now read the following sentences. I'll give you a second to read them. You might want to pause the video. Okay, I'm going to read the sentences for you. Il y a une belle raquette sur le lit. There's a beautiful racket under the bed. J'ai un bon livre pour toi. I have a good book for you. Elle a une jolie voiture. She has a beautiful car. Tu es un mauvais étudiant. You are a bad student. Okay, so look at where the adjectives are. Okay, I'm going to underline them with my lightsaber. Belle. Bon. Joli. Mauvais. Okay, what is the differences that you see? Write down what differences you see between the two, slides of sentences, okay? You want to look at the position of the adjectives. What differences do you see between the first slide and the second slide? Okay, you'll want to write this down in a separate sheet of paper because this is the first activity that I'll be looking for when you bring your homework into class tomorrow. All right, now you need to go to page 175 and read the grammar note. Okay? All right, activity 1. So right now what you should have is that you have made a list of differences between the first two slides. Now you're going to make a list of adjectives that come before the noun, and then you need to complete activity 176 in your book. You write out the answers. So you'll want to pause the video here and complete that. Okay, the conclusion. There are certain shorter adjectives that usually have to do with beauty, age, goodness, or size that go before the noun. Most adjectives go after the noun. Okay, now we're going to learn about the difference between c'est and il est, elle est. Okay, so take a second and read these sentences. Okay, I'm going to read them for you. Il est amusant. He is funny. So the il in the sentence means he. Elle est gentille. So elle in here means she. So it's she is nice. Elle est sportive. So the elle here means she. She is sporty or she is athletic. Il est beau. He is handsome. Okay? All right. Also, remember that you use il and elle if you're talking about an object and you have to know if it's masculine or feminine. So here, take a second, read these sentences. Okay? C'est mon ordi, il marche bien. Okay, so this is my computer, it works well. C'est ma voiture, elle marche bien. This is my car, it works well, or she works well. C'est ma tablette, elle marche bien. So you use il and elle for people to say he or she, or it can be used to say it works well when referring back to an object, but it has to be il if the object is masculine and elle if it's feminine. All right. The difference, if you look here, say usually is followed by an article and then a noun and then an adjective. And as we just saw, the adjective can come before or after the noun. So take a second and read these sentences. All right, c'est une jolie voiture. It is a pretty car. So you have the article, which is une, then you have the adjective, and then you use the noun, and it means it is a pretty car. So il and elle, when you're referring to an object, can mean it works well, like you saw in the previous slide. But if you have an article, and then you have an adjective, and then the noun, you have to use c'est. Okay, here's another one. C'est un grand ordinateur. So it is a big computer. So you have the article, the adjective, and then the noun. C'est un garçon intelligent. He is a smart boy. So you have the article, the noun, and then the adjective. Okay? Here are some other uses for c'est, as you saw in the earlier slide. C'est mon frère, c'est ma tablette. This can be used to say, he's my brother, or that's my iPad, to show ownership. Also, remember that if it's a negative sentence and you're using être, you don't have to change the un, une, or des to de. It stays the same. So, and this is how you write a negative sentence with c'est. Okay? The c'est becomes ce. Ce n'est pas un copain. He is not a friend. Ce n'est pas une voiture. It is not a car. Also, you can use it to say just generic expressions with a masculine noun. So, c'est amusant, c'est cool, c'est magnifique. That's when you use c'est. All right, also, here's the plural form. Okay? Ils sont grands. They are tall. So, this is how you would use this if it was plural. Elles sont amusantes. They are amusing. Ce sont des amis amusants. That should be they. They are amusing friends. Ce sont des grands hommes. They are tall. So when you have ils and elles sont, it can mean they or they are. And then ce sont is also the same thing. All right, here's a negative sentence, just like I said before. This is if you're saying say, but you want to put in the negative, this is how you would write it. Okay, so take a second and read the sentences. All right. Ce n'est pas une voiture. Okay, it is not a car. Ce ne sont pas des voitures if it's plural. Ce n'est pas un scooter. It's not a scooter. And if it's plural, ce ne sont pas des scooters. All right, so go ahead and listen to what I say. This is just kind of, so I can say, c'est une montre, elle est belle. Okay? I can say, c'est ma montre, elle marche bien. And I can say, c'est magnifique. So that kind of gives you an idea of the different uses of c'est and il and elle. All right, c'est un chien. Il est gentil. C'est un chien amusant. Il est amusant. C'est un chien sportif. Il aime courir. So you can kind of, if you listen there, you can see the differences. You have c'est plus an article and then a noun and an adjective. And then the other ones with il and elle, you don't have an article. All right. C'est un vélo. Il marche bien. C'est cool. C'est un bon vélo. Right? C'est un vélo intéressant. Okay, so you can see il est bleu et il est noir. So you have the differences between c'est and il and elle est. Okay? C'est une jolie voiture. Elle marche bien. Elle est noire. C'est une grande voiture. And then I could say elle est belle. All right, so now the next thing that you need to do, so far you have written down the differences that you saw in the sentences between the first two slides, and you were to complete an activity on page 175. And now you need to read the grammar point on page 177 and complete activity 6 on page 177. Okay, correction, the first activity was on page 176. So you need to read the grammar on 175, and then you need to complete the activity 4 on page 176. So you have 2 activities that you'll need to complete for this video.